We read who the laws was given to the 12 tribes of Israel. Native American Indians come from the tribe of Gad.
That's right.
And guess what? They was observing the laws of Moses. Where did they get that from? From us. They come from the same people. We are the same nation. Our people was over here, just not all of them. The whole nation wasn't here. Some of us were still in Africa.
Observing the laws of Moses until the time of restoration, according to 2nd Ezra 1345.
That's what we just read.
Columbus identified America with this land.
With the land where mankind never dwelt.
That's
with the
right.
land that's called Arcerit. Christopher Columbus identified this land that the 10 tribes, came over here to observe the laws of Moses.
That's right.
That they never did in their own land. Now I want to ask y'all something. Who is the us? Who is the us that the Bible's talking about?
Black people.
Black people. How would you be able to prove that?
I think it was just people.
You think it was just people? I like that. I like that's an honest answer. Okay, you say black people, but if you say black people, then now you have to prove it. So let's read this real quick. Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 147 and verse 19. He sheweth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
So he said Jacob. Jacob was a person, but you're saying just people. You mean in general, right? I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying.
That's what us is.
Us. So you mean like the whole world, okay? So he shows his word unto Jacob. Do you know who Jacob is in the Bible? You don't know who Jacob is? Let me show you who Jacob is real quick. 32, Genesis 32:28.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 32 and verse 28. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob.
He's talking to Jacob. He said his name should be no more Jacob. Go ahead.
But Israel.
But Israel. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. Israel had 12 sons. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, Manasseh, Simeon, Zebulun, Gad, Reuben, Asher, Issachar, Naphtali. Okay? These 12 tribes are God's chosen people.
That's right.
These are the ones where he said he showeth his word unto. When he said, when I asked to us, he's not talking about the whole world, but he's talking about Jacob. Go back to that. No, finish that out real quick.
For as a prince hast thou power with God.
You see how important it is to know exactly who you are and what your name is? Because when you know that your name is Israel, okay, you are a prince that has power with God.
That's right.
God didn't give that to everybody. He only gave that to a certain group of people. Now, what I'm asking y'all is who are those people? You say black people, I say to prove it. Because that's what the world would say to you. You say it's everybody in general. I say to prove it because that's what the world would say. Okay, go ahead. Go back to the other one.
Psalms 147 and verse 19. He sheweth his word unto Jacob.
Hold on. Ain't that the same name that we read about in Genesis? Genesis was in the beginning. He showeth his word, meaning he showed his Bible unto Jacob. Jacob was one man. His name was changed to Israel. He had 12 sons. Go ahead.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
So you telling me God only showed his law, statutes, and commandments to only one person? No, he's talking about to his lineage.
That's right.
That came out of Jacob, that came out of Israel. Go ahead. And it's going to further show that as we go on.
He hath not dealt so with any nation.
You hear that? Jacob or Israel became a nation. God said he has not dealt so. He has not gave the law, statutes, and commandments to any nation. Go ahead. To any other nation. Go ahead.
And as for his judgments, they have not known them.
Okay, as for his judgments, the other nations do not know them. Now, my question to y'all again, who is Jacob? Who is Israel? Who did God give his law, statutes, and commandments to? Hold on, before we get to give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Because God feels a certain way towards us. But we don't know that because we've been taught that we're niggas. We've been taught that we're spicks. We've been taught that we're nothing.
Right.
That's why we treat each other like garbage.
Right.
We treat each other how the world has treated us or how the world has taught us to be. Right. That's how we treat each other. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6.
But how does God really feel about us? Go ahead.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
God said that we are a holy people. To be holy means to be separate away from these other nations. We should not be taking part in their customs, their values, their voting system. We should not be taking part in nothing that they do because it doesn't benefit our people. How long have we been voting and our communities still look the way that they look? These politicians ain't never done nothing for us. They use our votes so they can continue to use us to get the majority so they can get in office and continue to rule how they want to rule.
That's right.
But it has nothing to do with us, per se. Go ahead.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people.
God said that he chose Israel to be a special people. You might be like, damn, well, who is this Israel people that he chose to be a special people? That he gave the law, statutes, and commandments to. Read.
A special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Are we above all people upon the face of the earth right now? Are we above? No, right? No, because we have disobeyed God. But God said he intended for us. How you doing, my brother? You all right? I'm not Sean. Hey, what's your name, sir?
No, it's the Logan.
The Logan?
Yeah, the Logan.
I want to make sure I'm saying it right.
Logan? Right.
Logan?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, sir. How you doing? I'm not sure. What's your name, sir?
I'm blessed.
Fred.
Fred? Logan, Fred? Shamar? Shamad. Okay, all praises. All right, it's nice to meet y'all. All right, so give me, so we going over, the Bible says that he showed his word unto Jacob. Do you know who Jacob is?
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Huh?
Abraham, Isaac, and then Jacob.
Right, and Jacob's name was changed to Israel, and Israel had 12 sons. So he said he showed his word unto Jacob. He also said that he chose Israel to be a special people and above all people. Now my question to you is, who is Israel on the earth today? Hold on, give me Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 16. Who is Israel in the world today? Who is Jacob?
I thought it was the country Israel, right?
The country Israel? No, Israel is a people. Remember, we just read about Jacob's name, a person, being changed to Israel. So Israel is a person before it's a place.
Right.
Those people over there in Israel, guess what? They're not the true people of the book.
That's right.
And we're going to show you that. Read that real quick.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4 and verse 16. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them.
You see that? There is no end of all the people. So when it's talk about Jacob or it talk about Israel, there is no end to that nation. That nation is still here. And if God said that that nation is his chosen people, his special people that's supposed to be above all people, my question to y'all is, who is those people today? That's what we should be asking each other, because he said he showed his word unto them. Guess what? The kingdom of heaven is only for that people.
Yeah.
But give me Revelations 2 and 9, because I said those people over there in Israel have lied and stole your identity. They have, my man over there, I can't see his shirt, but they have stole your identity as well, my man with the mask on. Logan, they stole your identity. Fred, they stole your identity. Shamad, they stole your identity.
Right.
Come on.
The book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation.
The Bible says, I know your works. I know your tribulations. Who's going through poverty? Who's going through tribulations out here in the world? Who's getting shot down in the streets? Who has hatred for one another where they sell drugs to each other, murder each other? Are women committing abortions at alarming rate?
Right.
Who's doing that? Prostituting their daughters.
Right.
Are women walking up and down Sugar Creek, walking up and down Raymont selling themselves?
Bring it out.
That's our people, right?
All minorities.
That's all minorities. When I say our people, guess what I'm talking about? I'm talking about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
Because they all the ones that fit the curses of the Bible.
That's right.
And with that, I'm alluding to that because I'm going to get to that. We just didn't get there yet. So all minorities, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But they have taught us that we're different people, that we're separate. No, we are all one nation. The only difference between us is the boat ride, or where we got dropped off at. We all got collected over here on the West Coast.
I don't even believe that.
You don't believe that? But you can look at history and find that, though.
No, you can't.
You can't find that in history? Prove it.
You can't.
How you can't find that in history?
You can't prove that them people are real people or them tribes are real.
Okay, watch that. We're going to get to that. You said we can't prove it.
That's not proving it.
Bring it out.
That's not proving it.
Okay, you know about history, right?
Yeah, you gotta have documents to prove.
Okay, all right. Is this not documentation?
Right.
Did this not happen in history to our people? No, hold on. Before you answer.
Those look like drawings.
Before you answer,
Like it was
regardless if they're drawings or if they're pictures, what I'm asking is that did this ever happen in history to our people?
No.
Okay, all right, that's what you say. That's your opinion. That's fine.
It's not
You're entitled to your opinion. Let me ask Logan.
Nothing new
Logan,
under the sun.
Logan, did this happen to you? How a brother that don't believe in the Bible is quoting the Bible? And make it make sense. But anyway, Logan, did this happen to our
believe in
people?
the Bible.
But you're quoting the Bible.
didn't quote nothing.
You just say ain't nothing new under the sun. Where you think that come from?
We
that
know.
come from the Bible, sir.
That's right.
But hold on, come on. Did this happen to our people? Or did this happen in history?
It happened.
So what about you?
I believe it happened.
Okay, so that's 2-1. Again, like I said, your opinion is fine. You can have your opinion.
Look, I'm 60. What's the difference between these ages to know stuff?
Say that again?
I'm 60
Uh-huh.
years old. How old are you?
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But look. Yeah, age really don't mean nothing. Age, that's not the y'all leaving the point. Y'all leaving the point that I'm making. But hold on, we gonna continue on. We gonna read the Bible.
Right there, ain't it?
This new
We're gonna continue to read. We're gonna continue to read the Bible. Like I said, regardless if that's a movie or a depiction, you can still look in history and find these things that happen.
That's how you
go ahead, read that.
people mind.
I don't care if you talk. I said you can have your opinion. How is that not liking that you're talking to him? I said you can have your opinion. But go ahead, read.
I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews.
I know the lies of them, because now we're talking about those people over there in Israel. I know the lies of them that say they are Jews. Our people don't call themselves Jews, but there is certain white people that do call themselves Jews.
Right.
Christ says, I know the lies of them that say they are Jews. Go ahead.
And are not,
But they are not the true Jews. Go ahead.
but are the synagogue of Satan.
They are the church of the devil. Only a devil, because that same one that he's saying that this didn't happen to, that same enemy is the one that done this to us. The one that done this to you, beat you to submission to where you've forgotten or lost your heritage and your culture. Now they have stolen it and took your identity. Go ahead.
What was up with Indian people? What was up with the Indian people?
What do you mean what was up with them?
Indians.
Right. What do you mean what's up with them?
Yes, I thought they came and took over the land from the Indians.
They did.
They did.
They did. Genesis chapter 49, verse 19.
Genesis 49, verse 19.
Go ahead, read that.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 19.
So his question is what?
19.
Right. His question is, hey, Shema, you listening? His question was, what happened to the Native American Indians? This Bible was written well before. Oh my goodness. Yes, they are still here, brother.
That's us.
Yes,
what
it is.
happened.
You're right. You're right, sir. Sir, you're right. Oh my goodness. Come on.
Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last.
You see that? It said Gad. Gad right here is the Native American Indians. It said this Bible was written well before that history, right? So this is a prophecy that came to pass. It said a troop shall overtake him. Guess who that troop was? Andrew Jackson, Christopher Columbus, the Conquistadors, okay, Amerigo Vespucci, okay, they came over here and they overtook Gad. So that's what happened to the Native American Indians. And they were forced onto reservations to the point to where you barely even see them no more. Now, okay, some of us is Native American Indians.
Wow.
Okay, but their true heritage is the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
Native American Indian or American Black or West Indian, these are all slave names that was put on us. Y'all brothers listening? These were all slave names that were put on us. When you call yourself African American, when you call yourself Black, these are all slave names. Okay? When you call yourself West Indian, that is a slave name. When you think the Native American Indians was calling themselves Native? This is the point. Watch this. Hey, what's his name again?
We've been doing the same shit.
Fred. Hey, was the Native American Indians calling themselves Native American Indians? Did they call themselves that?
That's what they were.
Why he not answering the question? I asked you a straight, direct question. Did they call themselves, did the Native American Indians call themselves Native American Indians?
Do you know what native means?
Oh my goodness, he's not going to answer. No, the answer is no. So your question should be, where did they get that name from? They got that name from the ones that came over here and conquered them. So it goes back to my point that they are that name is a slave name. Just like African American is a slave name. Okay, West Indian is a slave name.
That's right.
You understand that thing? Mexican is a slave name. But hold on, before you leave, Shemai. Before you leave, I want to give me Deuteronomy, because I never got to the point of who we truly are. All right, because we got ran all over the place for no reason. Otherwise, besides that, there's another black man talking positivity to you. If it was another nation up here, they'd be up here listening, throwing money in the damn thing. They'd be doing all shucking and jiving, cooning, doing all types of stuff. But when it's your own people that look like you, that try to uplift your communities, okay, when we try to uplift your communities, brothers don't want to hear nothing. They don't never want to hear another brother that look like them, because we have been taught to be each other's enemies. That's what we're trying to come out of. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. Who are we? What is our true nationality? Come on.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So the Bible says if we do not listen to God, meaning the Israelites, if they didn't listen to God, that all these curses will come upon us and overtake us. We're going to read some of these curses to find out who we... I've been trying to deal with you. You don't want to listen. Hold on, you taking me off my point. You want your answer question? You're going to wait a second.
That's
okay?
Right. That's right.
Give me verse 46. Because we'll answer your question, but you're going to wait. You're not going to take me off my point. Verse 46. Because he said all these curses will overcome us and overtake us, okay? So we want to read, we want to see what these curses do for us. Go ahead.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
So the curses will be upon our people for a sign and for a wonder. Logan, what does a sign do for us? A sign.
Lead and direct.
Right, it leads, it directs, it shows you something. So that's the way these curses are going to work. Because during slavery, we have had, like I mentioned earlier, we have had our true identity whipped out of us. That's why we would call ourselves the names that we call ourselves. Now let's read some of these curses that was written well before the history happened, and let's see if we fit those. You can agree with that? You can understand that? You understand that? I would ask you, but you'll just argue with me. Go ahead, verse 32.
It's all about questioning.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
The Bible says that the Israelites' sons and daughters will be given unto another people. Who in history has that happened to? Sons and daughters being given unto another people.
Everybody. Come on now.
Whose sons and daughters was given? I ask you, whose sons and daughters was given to another people?
Everybody.
Son and daughter, I think.
Go ahead and say us, because everything is all about us.
Okay, go ahead, read on.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
And we had no, and that these particular people had no economic might, nor no military might, nor no political might to get our people back, or to get their people back. Okay, who did that happen to? That happened to our people. Now, regardless if this is a drawing or a movie, you can still look these things up, that these things really happen to our people. Matter of fact, this right here, this is not a drawing nor a movie. This is a real photograph right here.
Right.
This is a real photograph. Now all of a sudden it's not our people. First it didn't happen, then it's not our. Then I know that. Just like you might not be part of Israel. That's why you will buck up against the scripture. But anyway, this happened to our people. Watch this, Logan. Give me verse 48.
Verse 48.
And what?
We just showed you verse Deuteronomy. We're still in Deuteronomy. We're going over the curses. 28, verse 48.
Verse 48.
Just showed you one. You don't believe that either. You don't believe nothing that's being brought out. Go ahead.
Therefore shalt thou serve.
So who is it then? Who is it then? Now it's one person. You see the madness? First say, I don't believe in that. It's not us. That is not real. We go against we show them contrary to that. Then all of a sudden it's this, that, this. Go ahead. Read that. Now I'm not going to stop talking. This is our form, sir. We want to keep talking. If I got to talk over you, I will talk over you. It don't matter. We don't run nothing over here. Understand that thing.
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies.
Therefore, should we serve our enemies? Because we didn't want to serve God, Logan, we're going to serve our enemies. We serve our enemies to this very day. Go ahead.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Okay, God, if you God, get your people out of this condition out there. God, hey, God, if you're God, get your people out of the position that they're in. Okay, come on, because you're not God. You have done absolutely nothing for your community, nor your people. Go ahead.
In hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
So remember, the curse is going to be upon us for identifying marker, right? Okay, so we can look upon these curses and see if we fit those things. It said your enemy will put a yoke of iron. You following me? I know it's kind of hard with the buzzing all in the back of your head. So it said an enemy will put a yoke of iron upon our neck. Who put a yoke of iron upon your neck? Yourself put a yoke of iron? Yourself put a yoke of iron upon your neck. So you went and just, hey, I'm gonna put a yoke of iron upon my own self.
You a God, brother.
You asking me a question.
A God create.
How did it?
I said who? I said who? Who?
Okay,
God ain't make all this.
I said who?
You the God.
And what is the yoke of iron? That's the name of the thing.
This is the yoke of iron.
Oh.
This is the yoke of iron. That's what we're showing you. Those are the yokes of iron. Who done that to you?
The enemy.
The enemy, right? Who's the enemy? The enemy is not no red devil underneath the ground pitching people with forks.
Right.
So who is the enemy? An enemy is a real person. Just like you're a real person. Just like Fred is a real person.
Okay.
Okay? So what real person done this to us?
Yourself.
The ones who came
Your own
over
people.
and
It was your own people that put you in slavery.
Who did you say came over and captured?
It wasn't nobody else.
Okay, I'll say it for you. The so-called white man done it to you.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
The Bible says the Lord is going to bring the Israelites into Egypt again. Egypt is another word for bondage. Give me that in Exodus. Give me that in Exodus. It's been done already. Give me Exodus chapter 22.
The book of Exodus chapter 20 verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of bondage. So the land of Egypt, or Egypt means bondage or captivity or slavery. So when he goes back to Deuteronomy 28 and 68, read, or it also means misery, misery, distress, shut in, restraint. These are all things that Egypt means. Okay, go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So the Lord said he's going to bring you into restraint or bondage again, because the Israelites, remember in Moses' time, they were under Pharaoh in Egypt. They were in bondage. They were served with rigor, right? You remember that history? Okay. But this time Moses saying, hey, for your disobedience, I'm going to bring you into that same condition again. Wow. It's not going to necessarily, right, that's the word. It's not necessarily going to be Egypt, but it's going to be a spot that resembles Egypt. Go ahead.
Again, with ships.
And read it again from the top.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again, with ships.
The Lord is, right. So what does that mean to you? With ships.
Who made the ships?
With ships.
We did. We got the most industries here.
What does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? With ships. What does that mean to you?
Ships, transport.
How do we
He just said something. That makes sense.
Right, that's the point. I'm only asking you because I wanted to see because you said with ships. I wanted to see where your mindset was. So I'm not saying that he's wrong. I didn't say that he was wrong when he said transport. That's exactly what a ship is for.
Back again.
Okay. So he's gonna bring us back into captivity or bondage again. But this time, remember, the Israelites walked out of Egypt. Okay. But this time, when you go back into bondage, you're gonna go into that captivity on ships. What I was trying to show you earlier is that history happened to us in 1492. That history happened to us in 1619. That history happened to no other group of people. Remember, we read about being scattered. That's what I'm trying to show you, that this happened to the Israelites. I'm trying to show you who you truly are, your true identity. We are not African Americans. We are not blacks. We are not Hispanics. Okay, we are not American. Those are all slave names. I just told you we are the Israelites. Get Give me Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1. Maybe it'll clear it up. Maybe it shows you who Moses is
The book
speaking
of
to.
Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan.
So I just went there just to show you that these words that are being spoken in the book of Deuteronomy is being spoken unto the children of Israel. When it says that the children of Israel were going to Egypt again on ships, it's talking about the children of Israel. When I ask you who that happened to in history, we all know that happened to us in history. The problem is that our names and our heritage have been changed to the point that we don't realize that this Bible is talking about us.
That's right.
Now, I want to go back to his point where he said that our people, or melanated people, that he said was already over here. He is correct. But not all of us. Israel is a nation of people. That's the name of the organization. But our true identity is the nation of Israel. What we're trying to show y'all is that y'all are the nation of Israel.
Okay.
Y'all African.
Okay, I'm getting
Y'all
that.
weren't born over here.
Brother.
Y'all weren't born
Just
over
read
here.
this, read this.
The book of 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse.
Now I'm gonna show you that he's right, that some of our people were over here already. And the Bible commends that, or says that. Go ahead.
The book of 2nd Ezra chapter 13 verse 4 are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king.
Right.
Who Manasseh the king of Assyria led them away captive. And he carried them over the waters. And so come they to another land.
So they were prisoners and they went into another captivity. Go ahead, read.
But they took this counsel among themselves.
Right, and at the time of that that other captivity, the king at that time gave them liberty to go ahead and do what they wanted to do, to go seek out another land. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead.
But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen.
So they decided that they would leave the heathen. They would leave the other nations. Go ahead.
And go forth into a further country.
They will go forth into a further country. These 10 tribes will go forth into the northern kingdom of Israel, will go forth into a further country. Read.
Where never mankind dwelt.
Can somebody get that definition from me? You know what I'm talking about? Azareth? Where never mankind dwelt. Where is it on the earth at a particular time where there was at a time that mankind never dwelt? Where was that area?
I don't know.
Where did Christopher Columbus wanted to go to? Christopher Columbus. Where did he want to go?
He went to Haiti first.
I didn't ask that. I didn't even ask that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Where did he go first?
Yeah, where did he go? Where did he want to go?
When they said that he discovered America.
Okay, so that's the answer right there.
Oh.
He wanted to go to America, go into another country. Read that part again, son.
And go forth into a further country.
And go forth into a further country where?
Where never mankind dwelt.
Where never mankind dwelt, okay? All right, so where is that? That's your question. Where is that? Read.
Verse 45. For through that country there was a great way to go.
Read.
Namely of a year and a half.
So on those ships, it took them mainly a year and a half to get over here. Go ahead.
And the same region is called Asareth.
And that same region where mankind at that time never dwelt was called Arsareth. Now let's see what that definition says about Arsareth. Read on.
Then dwelt they there until the latter time.
Hey, somebody got Arsareth for me?
And now, when they shall begin to come, the highest shall stand.
That's it. Let me see. Let me read this. It said they were going to another land that mankind never dwelt. Okay, and they came to know that land was called Arsareth. Let's see what Arsareth is.
The name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man.
Again, it's saying the same thing. Far away from the habitation of man. Go ahead. It's going with what the Bible said. Over here at that particular time, before the so-called Native American Indians got here, mankind didn't dwell over here in the Western Hemisphere. Go ahead.
In which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell, observing the laws of Moses.
Observing the what?
The laws of Moses.
So we know that the so-called Native Americans was over here, and when they got over here, they were observing the laws of Moses. We read who the laws was given to the 12 tribes of Israel. Israel. Native American Indians come from the tribe of Gad.
That's
And
right.
guess what? They was observing the laws of Moses. Where did they get that from? From us. They come from the same people. We are the same nation. So what I'm showing you, to his point, that our people was over here, just not all of them. The whole nation wasn't here. Some of us were still in Africa. Okay, you understand that? Go ahead. So I'm not disagreeing with the brother. I just want to show him that the Bible already says what he's bringing out. I'm just showing him that the Bible says that. Go ahead.
Observing the laws of Moses until the time of restoration, according to 2nd Ezra 13:45.
That's what we just read.
Columbus identified America with this land.
With the land where mankind never dwelt.
That's
with the
right.
land that's called Arsareth. Christopher Columbus identified this land that the 10 tribes, came over here to observe the laws of Moses.
That's right.
That they never did in their own land. That's the reason why they went into captivity in the first place.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is